Welcome to Big Conversations by Ordinary People podcast. Today with me I have Methia Lydia, Nabawanda, and I am your co-host. I am your host, Mark Keron or Mala. I do not know why I said
Why do you
co-host.
call yourself a co-host?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I've always, but technically I'm supposed to be a co-host for the show.
Why is the host like?
There was a host. We just got bored of his conversations and just totally.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but we're going to bring him back next Tuesday with a conversation with Natif. Maybe that one will be very, very interesting. So, to some of the Kenneth fanatics, this is one time I was going through the YouTube. So there's another guy there. Kenneth had come back after a very long time. So in the comments, he had put, "Oh my God, finally, we are done with this guy who just wants to have sex with the people he hosts." Like, really? It was really, really interesting, but. Yeah, that comment had never gone off my mind. But yes, welcome, Methia. Thank you for honoring our
you.
invitation to come to the podcast.
It's a pleasure.
It's really beautiful that you have accepted to do. I remember I found you in Nairobi, where we now finally.
No, initially, here's the thing. Sometimes when I don't know someone, it's hard for me to like be on the same page or like accept when they call me through for something. Because sometimes I feel like someone is playing around or like they're not serious about what they're asking, which makes it hard. Like, can I really do this? Should I accept? Are they playing? Like, I just need to be sure. So when we met, I realized, oh, he's actually serious. I was like, okay, fine, I'll come through.
Yeah, I'm always really serious. I have been shooting how many episodes? About 200 now. So that goes to show you how much determined and how much effort I want to really, really put in this. Of course, with the team, I'm not doing this alone. It's a team of brilliant people that help me and help the studio as well to get out this work. Now, please give us an introduction about yourself and who you are. From your perspective, how would you introduce yourself to God if today was Judgment Day?
All right. Judgment Day?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Judgment Day?
Because death is inevitable.
It is, but like I feel like God is still blessing with so much life. So let's appreciate him for that. Anyways, my name is Methia Lydia Nabawanda. I'm a social media influencer. I'm a content creator. And I'm a YouTuber as well and a businesswoman. There's so many things I do. So I'm into like everything at some point.
All right. So what really, really fascinating trends on social media now excite you the most? Are you following up on the Uganda Parliament exhibition?
I am, but for some reason I do not know so much about politics. Like as much as I try, I just don't understand what's going on. I mean, I know these people are swindling money, there's embezzlement and so much corruption, but I can't explain it.
But does it make you feel some type of way? Do you feel
Yes, it actually does. It actually does. There are sometimes I see this. One of the reasons I don't engage is because I'm a very emotional person. So sometimes I see those things and I just want to cry because you pass by our roads and they look like terrible. The potholes are so bad. And then you realize like these people are actually getting the money because I know, but like every year there's money assigned to fix the roads or whatever and all that stuff.
Sure.
But where does that money go? Because year after year, the roads are bad, the hospitals, like everything is just terrible. So when I overthink about it, I just want to cry. So I kind of like stay away from all that.
Everything that makes you cry, do you feel like you have adopted to just staying away from it?
Yeah, because that's I feel like that's the only way I can save myself from the pain that is actually going on. I mean, there are so many Ugandans going through it. So personally, I can't.
Okay.
I'm too, what's the word? I'm too delicate. I don't know if I should put it like that, but it kind of disorganizes me.
So you also strike me as one of the first influencers that I saw, from my opinion, when I saw record labels trying to sign influencers. So one of the people that was there, like I didn't really understand the whole thing. Like, why is a label signing you? Why do you need to be managed by a label? Does it bring in more gigs? I want you to like expand.
Yeah.
You don't really have to mention the label if you don't want. You can just really give a broad perspective on just being signed to a label and what you hoped and what your expectations were really. So then we can drive a conversation from that.
So when I was signed, of course, many people ask questions. Is she an artist? Like, is
Yeah.
she going to sing? Where exactly is she on board? But it was under an influencer program, which is actually still running, I think. But I'm not working with them anymore because our contract ended and just
You
like,
don't want to renew it.
no.
So, but what were your expectations as compared to you just running? Because again, being a nano influencer, I suppose that is how you identify, because your influence is like throwing out posts about maybe to get people's attention about a few things by
Creating awareness
creating
and
that awareness.
content creation about like
True.
so many.
So, what were your expectations from the label as compared to you actually doing what you are already doing?
Getting signed, I thought I would probably work with like bigger brands. Like as a label, they have like connections to like
True.
so many people. They've
Yeah.
worked with so many brands. So that was like at the back of my mind, like I probably get to work with some clients that I've always wanted to. And I could not get at the moment. So I thought like this would help me get everything. But I didn't. And it's one of the reasons we actually had to end
The contract.
the contract, yes.
So for you, your goal was to, in terms of managing yourself, why aren't you reaching out to the bigger brands yourself? What's the challenge there?
I am, but the bigger brands always want to work under an agency. Like they reach out to agencies and then like those agencies get the influencers for them or the content creators. So reaching out to them personally is kind of hard. They would take you on, but it takes really a lot of time and a lot of meetings and all that and stuff. So yes, we try once in a while. You may get if you're lucky enough, you may get. But these agencies prefer working under those big brands. They prefer working under agencies. So if you're lucky enough to be under an agency and these people want you, so yeah, that's one way you can get onto them.
Okay. As an influencer, as the nano one, would you want to highlight some of the challenges you have so far first? Also, the benefits, right? Over time now, for about 3 years, I've seen that you are a social media influencer who has amassed also very good numbers, right? I see you working with some brands. Say, I see you work with the restaurants that belong to Hugamara.
Or
Apart-
Kamara, yes.
Hugamara is
Wait.
the umbrella group. Yeah, but the CEO is Kawamara. It's fine. Yeah. So how is that like? Take me through it. How are these deals? Are they interesting to you? Do you feel like you're giving them value? Can you define your value for us? Yeah.
Okay. I like you said, I've worked with the restaurants. I've worked with several actually. If I start mentioning, I mean like finish all of them. But it's a good experience. Like you get to work with different
Mention
people. Five, the patio. Okay, not under the same, but I have Middle East. I have Yams Cafe. I have
You've done yams as well.
yes. I have so many others. Can't mention all of them, but yeah, I've worked with several. The Maze, the Villa.
What are some of those challenges you find, and also, what type of value do you give the restaurants from your
To
perspective?
them, it's more of creating awareness, which they actually get, because according to the reports we share and all that, the response we get from our clients is we're actually doing a good job. So they keep like working with you until maybe they reach their target and they're like, okay, we can take it from here. I think I'm actually doing a good job in creating awareness for their offers, their locations, and all that stuff.
So, in creating awareness, you are saying that me, a random stranger on the internet,
Yes.
I am sure that if you talk to me about food, I'd go and eat
Yes.
there. How have you done that?
Or that. Yes, by the time I do that, because you have to create the content in a way that is enthusiastic to the person watching. Like, is it interesting? Would someone really want to go and visit this place? Are the prices worth it? So you mention all those things or like talk about them and actually show them in the video that there's nice food here, the prices are fair, the service is really good. So by mentioning all those things, I know very well that someone is actually going to check out that place.
So, what is the difference between me going to do a Google ad or a radio or a TV ad.
Mm.
Basically, traditional marketing, right? What is the difference between me opting out for traditional marketing
Okay.
as instead of you, a social media influencer? And this doesn't have to specifically be you,
Yeah.
but yeah, help me.
I get that. Okay, here is the thing. It's more about relating to the place. I have people who follow me. They've followed me for a while and they know me. They kind of, okay,
They're
they
attached
feel
to
like
me.
they know me and they're attached to me because of what I post. So sometimes people love you for the things you do. So they're like, if Methia visits this place, I can actually go check it out. I've had such people in my comment section. They're like, oh, Methia has been to this place. I want to check it out. There's some who actually ask me, please help us go and review this place. Like tell us the price and all that. If you post something, let's say you're talking about the restaurant, you're reviewing it, but you don't mention something, they'll be like, you have not put prices for us. How are we going to visit this place? How do we know it's family friendly? So I know these people who visit because they relate with me. And also, like you've said, traditional marketing does not specifically, okay, I feel like when you visit the website or Google, whatever, they're going to show you the place and a few pictures of people you may know. Okay, but no, people you may not know because they usually use like models or like random guys. But it's different when I come through to do the ad because I actually have people who know me and people who follow me. It feels real. It's like using a white person for an ad. Like, how sure am I? Like, this person is really interested in the place. Like, how do I relate with this person? But if you're using someone like a black person marketing for a Ugandan kind of thing, it relates more. That's how it works. So
let's put it in context, right? Look at Cheaper Cash. They have been advertising with Banner Boy and the Billboards in Kampala, right?
yeah,
They have Banner Boy. They have
I've actually seen Banner Boy only. I don't know any other
they've
guys.
had I think Spice Diana.
Yes, among the
Yeah,
Ugandans,
who's
there's
like
Spice
a
Time.
influencer because she's a celebrity.
Yes.
So how would you compare yourself as a nano and micro influencer who just is growing that you're following to then a mega influencer like a celebrity? Why should I opt to get a one Sharon Chuanuka who has numbers online and is actively online making noise and has all this attention to their timeline? Or is it better for me to go for a Spice Diana who has grown immense following in the world?
I feel like it's a two-way thing.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons they need macro and micro. They use both influencers on board because we all have like different targets. As I feel like we are more closer to the people. Because let's say Burna Boy puts up a post. Yes, people love him. He's good and all that. And he has his people and they will do whatever he says. You get, he's the kind of influencer who will do that. But at the end of the day, there's people like us who have like our close friends. We have our circles. We can also do a good job for them. But like it's more of it's like on ground, something like that. So they have the bigger audience, but we have an audience that relates to us and we can reach out to.
It's targeted, right?
Exactly, something like that.
Okay. Now, for the brands you've worked with over time, the time you've been doing this influencing thing, why did they spot you out, right? And how can other brands identify influencers who authentically align with their values and target audiences? And in this case, how did the brands that chose you know that you align with their values and also their target audiences?
I feel like it comes down to the way you create your content because I come off as a lifestyle influencer. So when a brand is coming to you, they're looking at something like that.
Yeah.
If it's they're beauty influencers, there is travel influencers. So by the time a brand comes to you, they know what they're looking for. They want the lifestyle, whatever you're giving to your people and how you can infuse it in their brand. Like how do you incorporate the two of them? So if a brand wants to work with you, I'm sure that's what they look up to. So personally, that's the kind of content I create. And I think lately it's because I'm more into like visuals, like I do videos a lot. And I believe videos actually work more than static posts. Let's say you take a picture with a product, I mean, it will move. There's people who will engage with that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a video speaks more. It's going to tell you the price of this product. You'll see how it looks like. There's a lot that goes on in the video that is not in the static post or the picture that the clients relate with. Like they want you to describe their product and do better than that picture. So I feel like that's the kind of content I'm doing lately, and probably that is one of the reasons the clients I'm working with are with me.
So we're talking about the fact that how have you amassed such a large following in such a short period of time, right? Now, Twitter opened in 2006. I joined in 2010, 4 years later. I have about 5K followers, give or take. But then you joined in 2017 and you have about 11K followers, right? Plus.
11K.
I don't know how many followers do you have?
178.
And yes, like 178. Wow.
Yeah.
So how have you amassed 178 followers?
Okay, it's just like I always tell people, it's consistency. The more you push, the more you... Okay, also there is something to do with being intentional. So initially when I was starting...
What part of your following? Okay, yes.
Like when I was starting, it was more of I'm trying to get followers. That was in 2017. I used to play, it was like a game to me with my friends. The likes of, I don't know if I can remember the names very well, but yeah. I had some friends of mine back then. We used to like just try to see who gets the more followers in a day. So we'd always try to like do those posts that are like engaging for people to engage and all that. So with time, we kind of like got the following. But I think I actually have more followers than all of them right now. Also, it comes down to girls. Like, I feel like girls are more favored when it comes to social media. I would not lie about that. Because, like, I'm just going to post a picture of myself and I might have people liking my picture. And among those, there's people who are going to follow me. So,
how does that make you feel? How do the likes make you feel? So,
I mean, it's a good thing.
If you posted your picture, right? And then you got 1 million likes, do you forget about the insecurities you've been really, really cringing about, say on your body?
No, you don't. It's supposed to come from you. That's what it means to like love yourself before you try to make other people love you. You understand? Like people are going to say all the nice things about you. They're going to say you're pretty, you're all those things. But if you don't feel it, then it's never going to make sense because you have to love yourself first. It's like being in a relationship. You have to love yourself first. You're going to be with a partner who is telling you, oh my God, you're pretty, you're an amazing person and all that stuff. But if you don't feel it, then it doesn't make sense at all. And you can never be happy in that relationship. So it comes down to how you feel. Even if I post something and people say bad things about me, it's not going to hurt me because at the end of the day, I love myself and whatever everyone says about me doesn't really matter.
Nice. So would you attribute some of your followings to just your body? The fact that you'd post pictures of yourself and then so many people follow you?
I mean, there's that. There's people who follow because Methia looks good. So yeah, I can say that.
Okay. At least you've admitted that 90% of the people that follow you because you have a fat ass.
That wasn't the point though.
It's part of it. So anyway, the metrics, right? Apart from just metrics and followings and maybe likes, how best else would a brand choose who their right influencer should be?
I think that comes down to how like I responded earlier.
How did you respond?
Like a lifestyle influencer, which if let's say we are dealing with like there's an HIV campaign going on, who are the people the client wants to work with? The client wants to work with doctors. There's people on the timeline who are doctors, like everyone knows them. So that's the kind of client, that's the kind of person the client wants to work with. So it comes down to how you put out yourself on the internet. How do people know you? So yeah, that's what I think.
So how do you know that this doctor is also, on top of being a doctor, is also an influencer?
You don't.
You just
some point
a doctor,
you
sell them an idea.
Exactly. If there's people who believe in them, they will actually believe what they say. They'll believe the campaign. They'll do whatever I say because it's easier to believe the doctor. I'm not a doctor, But like, okay, personally, I can work as an influencer. I can do the job, but like, it makes more sense. It's believable when it's coming from the
The
doctor.
doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, as a YouTuber, how has YouTube's algorithm impacted your influencing landscape? Has your content on YouTube added value to you as an influencer? And yeah, basically break down for me YouTube. What's your perspective on YouTube in general as an influencer?
Okay. I believe YouTube is good and it has its clients as well, because if you need to know something, there is a clip of it on YouTube. There's like a short video of it. But I feel like we have less influencers in Uganda doing YouTube. Most of the clients want to focus on the other platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that. So I don't really know how much YouTube works for me, but I feel like if you start a YouTube channel, you expect, of course, payment from YouTube as well. But at the end of the day, there's clients who would want to work with you. If you have the engagement there, there's clients who would actually want to work with you. So you can actually make money off YouTube.
Okay, a breaker on this podcast, you can ask questions, so I don't have to be the one asking.
I can ask questions. To who?
To me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were then asking. Okay, you didn't say that.
It is not like interview based; it's conversation based. So I'm also really, really extremely intelligent, and
You didn't say that.
so much information on
Eh,
and marketing, really.
if you had told me earlier, I would be
Yes.
asking you questions.
Okay. Now, yeah, but
Okay, let's start from there. The YouTube thing you've talked about. To you, how does it work for you? Like,
okay. For me, I'm really, really shooting for the long game with it. I'm doing I'm doing a lot of content, right? So I work for Yotam, which is like a production house.
You mentioned it, but I don't understand it. Like, what exactly is it?
So right now you're seated in a space that belongs to Yotam, right? This whole building is Yotam. So Yotam is like a production house. It's a studio. It's like how you see songs that then produces things. Amongst those things is the So UG podcast is Answered, the first thing you did, then this Big Conversations by Ordinary People, right?
Okay.
Now, I also happen to be the product lead at Yotam. Now, with Big Conversations by Ordinary People, it's really the long game, right? So we are producing long form content that can be repurposed on social media. So we have such a big variety for all. But with YouTube, with YouTube again, we're targeting. With time, we'll have produced as many conversations as possible, so there will be money on there and advertisers as well, and also just the channel itself to monetize. So that's one way. But for us, we just use it as a place to keep for now, to keep as much information as possible and make conversations accessible to just as many people as possible.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is anyone out there who would love to like do content for YouTube, they can come and like.
Oh yeah. That's I will properly even do a karango. But yes, that is one of the things we really major into. Okay. So we are creating spaces for people. We also, first of all, we're investing heavily in the equipment. So all types of equipment, you can just come, you can hire. Then we also have a team of expertise that can help you do content. But that's the thing, we can also bring your idea to life.
If you have like a concept,
we talk through management and see. Usually the challenge with that is people want to like fully own their ideas, which is like.
But if you're working with people, it's supposed to be a split kind of thing.
And it's a thing with Ugandans that they do not do. Do you feel like can I be an influencer with less followers?
Yes, you can.
Have you tried that?
You know how we talked about micro and macro? There's people who are on ground. There's actually influencers are not only on social media.
Yeah.
There's influencers in like the communities. You find a certain lady and like everyone in the community believes in her. So I don't think it's more about how many followers you have. It's more about how you can create awareness about a product and like how people can actually believe in whatever you're producing, whatever you're putting out there. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then.
So you can actually be an influencer with your few followers.
I think I've been.
Have you done influencing? Let me ask.
Let me give you a brief history about myself. So I single-handedly really introduced hashtag marketing in the country with
Oh,
the
really?
Yotam side.
Mm.
But then maybe we're also still working with the African Internet Group. But that whole point of trend online with the Ugandan version, I was initially the pioneer because I think people started trending with Makita, Fiverside,
Yeah.
and then you are not yet really, really popular.
I don't
you
think
are
so.
on Instagram and things like that. I contribute to so many marketing campaigns in the country also with vast experience, mostly in e-commerce and whatnot. Yes, so I've been an influencer with little numbers, but then those numbers were a lot, right? Because I was also easily one of the first new age guys then to like hit 1K followers, but then I quit for some time and but then 1K was a thing when
Of
people were
course, yeah.
Facebook, but now like 10K is the thing. It's easy, but like guys just come and get to 10K. So I think that there's that history behind that. Yeah, pushed quite a number of things then, I think. I think collectively every other week about 600 people from just pushing a hashtag used to come for the games, which is good business.
Of course, yeah.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you was because, of course, you cannot be an influencer and then neglect creating content right now, right? From your opinion, and you had already hinted on like video, but is it video reviews? Is it blog posts? Is it social media stories in forms of like threads that are most ideal for an influencer from your perspective?
I think it comes down to the different platforms.
Okay.
With Twitter, the threads can actually be a good thing.
If you're telling like stories in threads.
Yes, that. Then Instagram Reels. At least that one, like I know a
TikTok
reel can
Reels,
move you. Of course, TikTok, it's videos all that way. But like about the blogs, I don't have so much knowledge on that. But like with Instagram,
But do you ever read blogs? Do you ever sit there and read blogs from people?
I don't usually do that. It's random. Like maybe someone sent me a link and they're like, take a look at this. That's like the only way I'm going to read blogs. But I think there's people who actually read them. There's actually people who get their information from there.
Okay, then there's also this conversation on see how you've mentioned like how an Instagram reel will move faster, say even on TikTok videos will move faster. What is the conversion rate if someone was watching a show on TV and the same show on TikTok? How many people do you think watch TV as compared to those that watch TikTok? Where, me as an advertiser, where do I get more value? Should I take my video ad to TV or should I take it to TikTok?
I think it depends on who you're talking to. Okay. Are you talking to teenagers? Are you talking to the age group of, let's say, the youth? Are you talking to the youth? If it's that, then take the content to TikTok. Because lately the youth don't watch TV. I have TV, but all I watch is Netflix. Like, I mean, I don't watch the shows of TV, Kaonges, the news and all that. I don't. But like,
why is this though? Why have we fallen away from local programming? Is it very boring?
I think there's that part of it's boring, and also the part where we get the news online. Like Twitter has like everything that we're looking for. We go on Instagram and find the videos of whichever, let's say, Tascalite is bringing out something, a new product or something like that.
Tascalite, but okay.
Let's say they have something new coming up. I'm going to go and watch Methia's stories and all that, or videos, and I'll find out. So TV is good, but it depends on the age. So you can do, if your product is for the old people, yes, you can put that on TV. Yet even lately, old people on TikTok. So I don't know.
So with your video content, right, the one you have been working with, how have you designed it to make it resonate very well with whatever you are trying to sell in terms of branding? And I'm asking this because I once saw and she has been on the podcast, Uwera Linda. So she's been on this podcast. She's a top influencer. She's also a very good actor. But she did release a video for construction that went haywire, and I saw so many people give feedback on her video. Now, two ways. I look at it two ways, right? If my goal has been told, you go and make sure people see this video. How I caption it and then bring the eyeballs is not my fault. Right? So in me, when I commented, I was like, this is genius, because she's getting every one of you talk about this thing, and it's going to get more engagement and you'll get the views. Where this. So that, but also it felt like the targeted audience was not resonating. They're like, why are you using someone who's supposed to maybe sell charcoal to sell us bricks or something like that? like into comparison. So for you, how are you doing it to make sure that your video content directly resonates with the values of your audience, but also communicating what your client is intending to push out there in the market?
Talking about what she did, I feel like at some point controversy is the deal. Like you can put out content in a way that is going to make people talk or engage on it. So that's some kind of that's another way of like pushing it, and I think that's exactly what she was trying to pull out. Because I mean, the way I do my things, I feel like I just want to be on point. I kind of like just want. I think I look more at perfection. I mean, I would love to do. I used to do controversy on Twitter lately. I'm just silent because
the thing that like there was something about.
Oh my god, I've been.
Why were you asking those questions intentionally?
No, it wasn't intentional. Like, okay,
You were just in your life and asking what's on your
exactly.
mind.
You know how like you wake up. One of the things that really made me be dragged on the timeline was the day I woke up and asked people why. It was a Monday morning, and like I was like, what do unemployed people do on a Monday morning? And truthfully, I was not targeting anyone because apparently I am not job like I don't have a job.
You're not doing.
I'm not employed. I don't have like a job. You know how like you wake up. I woke up that day. I was in bed. I'm like, now what do I do with my life? Like I was just wondering. So I put out a question that is supposed to be like general to like everyone going through my situation, and bam, like it just backfired. And like people, okay, one thing about Twitter is they understand things the way they want to understand them. So it does not matter what exactly you're trying to mean. They'll go. They will take the direction of she's trying to attack us because for her she has this and that and all that stuff. So yeah, I feel like what are we talking about? What was I telling you? So yeah, I was saying sometimes it's more of controversy, but then again, you can choose to do things differently. If I've actually always wanted to work on something like that, like real estate and stuff. I've seen videos of people who do house tours and all that.
Yeah, I've seen Zari doing some of the content.
Actually, Zari has done something like which was actually beautiful. So personally, I would love to do it in that way, like legit kind of stuff. I don't know if I should put it like that.
Like communicate the actual thing without controversy, right?
Exactly. Yes.
You feel like that?
I would. Yes, that actually works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you feel like brands, but how can I, as a brand manager, right, then select and know that this type of influencer will push out my values and my message correctly? How, for you, in your experience, how do you think gig plugs select you?
It depends on how good you are with your work, how best you actually put out the
plug.
There's a part where you're close to the plug because I've seen people do gigs and I'm like, what is going on here? But like you realize they have a relationship with the plug, and then there's gigs you're never going to get because you're not friends with the plug. I have made my peace with that. So I know like people get gigs according to, sometimes it's the connections, but sometimes it's how good you are. Like how much do people want to see you like in their content or like putting out their product and creating awareness.
Alright. So if I've now Yotam does videos, right? That's what we measure in really. Video, photography, still motion, audio, visuals, and anything content. So if we create a video for you as an influencer, how do you repurpose it and distribute it across different platforms to get more impact? Say, if I give you video A, how do you use this video on Twitter? How do you use it on Instagram? How do you use it on TikTok? How do you use it on LinkedIn? Do you have like can you like talk on that?
I if I get a video, it depends on the platform I'm using. Let's say Twitter. The kind of caption I'm using on Twitter isn't exactly what I'm going to use on Instagram because of how people pick things. So Twitter does more controversy, so I'd probably pick out something in the video that is crazy or fun or whatever, something catchy, and I'll use that in my caption. But with Instagram, you can probably just do an outline of whatever you're talking about in the video. Yes.
Yes. Tips on a winning campaign. By the way, what campaigns have you been involved in? Big, the ones you feel like the big, the public, so people already know.
The big campaigns. I think most of my campaigns are like just under brands.
So they're designed by brand marketing managers, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to give us your tips.
I don't want you to say Msao Kalang because I'm start mentioning all of them I work with.
So how do you see the relationship between you and say someone like Moses Owena, who is like a content creator, right? And you, who is like an influencer? In the future, how do those relationships evolve? In a world where you have an idea, but then I have what it takes. Or me, it doesn't really have to be Moses, or me. And me, I have what it takes to actually really bring that idea to life.
What kind of relationship?
Yeah, and how do you envision the
an
future
influencer and
a content creator?
I feel like it's going to
be a relationship between you and Nyaika in the future.
It's the kind of relationship where you're working together in like everything, because he's a content creator. I'm one too. He's behind the camera. I'm in the camera. So I feel like with time, if they're just going to like move together, because lately when I'm like doing my videos or like pitching an idea to a client or like talking about my budget, I involve my videographer or camera person, whoever I'm using for the job. So in the future, in probably 5-10 years to come, it's going to be a hand in hand. You get the influencer, you get the videographer as well. So yes, that's the kind of relationship I think we'll be having.
So what advice would you give to brands looking to leverage influencer marketing effectively for the future?
I feel like they need to put more money into their social media campaigns. I've seen like other countries and how the influencers are benefiting from this program, like doing work for the clients.
Yeah, but it's two things, right? First of all, those countries you want to mention have such huge populations with huge crowds of people using mobile phones and mobile internet and say internet, and they have very good internet penetration, probably also very good.
So you think we don't have the numbers?
I think one, the numbers is an issue because it's of course factual. We don't have some of the numbers. We don't have as huge numbers.
Is that the reason as why clients don't think so much about social media?
No. Social media is irresistible. So if a client is not thinking so much about it, then they're not thinking big, right? But then in terms of value, are they getting that much of value from, say, you, a Ugandan influencer, to push their brand? Also, factor in mind that they are just not doing influencer marketing to push marketing for their brands, right? They're doing all these other forms of traditional and other outbound strategies to just push the brands. So when the challenge then comes, where the challenge comes there is when you fail to show value to the client. So then you get it fails to make sense, right? They don't prioritize it in their budgets. Conversion. So yeah,
if they're not getting the numbers, they don't feel like they should invest.
They should invest.
I get the point, but at the end of the day, I've seen how much influence the social media content creators have. So I feel like that.
How do you measure this influence?
Okay, via insights and the numbers people have, and if you look at like people's analytics, you can know like the number of people this post reached. Like there's a huge group of people who have seen this. And if we actually had like more investment in our work, like let's say the client is ready to give more, because sometimes I actually I want to do like better. I want to do like a video that is really catchy. There's a lot going on. There's like perfect quality stuff. But you look at the funds you have and they're not going to help. Like they are less. You get my point. Like I probably want to use a car in my video, but I don't have the car. So now I don't know what to do. I'm going to end up creating low quality because of the budget. So I feel like if a client wants to work with a certain content creator, they need to invest as much for them to get quality work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been part of a strategy that has gone wrong? Or can you highlight a strategy?
Not like a strategy, but there's a time I actually stopped working with events because every time an event would not go the way the promoter wants or whoever is in charge, they would blame the influencers. But at the end of the day, if the event goes really well and the people come through, they're not going to praise the influencers. So that's one of the things that I don't want to say it went wrong, but I've done gigs, I've done events that have actually gone wrong. And the blame was like, we didn't do a good job. But at the end of the day, I know we actually did a good job.
So when do you measure a good job if that event was not successful?
No, there's something people need to understand. Influencers are meant to create awareness.
Awareness is supposed to convert.
It's supposed
show
to
that you
convert.
created enough awareness. So many people should know about my brand. So there are.
But at the end of the day, they did. It's probably, maybe they're not interested or something like that. There's that as well.
Are you saying that for you, your job is to put the product out there? Then you don't control people's interests in people's products, right?
That's it.
Okay. So how do you go around that as brand owners?
Shall strategize.
Anyway, away from influencer marketing, I have met you in 2 East African countries.
2?
Yeah.
Which one edition?
Both Kigali and...
Wait, we met in Kigali?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Tell me about your experience in Nairobi.
Nairobi was fun.
What had
I've been there like thrice. I think the time we met was like my 3rd time. I was on vacation. I was like just having a good time with my girl. I traveled with my friend Shifa. But I think it's just like random trips and all that. It wasn't like random because we actually planned for it for a couple of months before. So we were just having fun, literally.
In terms of community, compare Nairobi to Kampala.
Nairobi is loud. It's a loud place. Like, okay.
I get that downtown matatus and their music. But the time whenever I'm at the apartments, it's peaceful.
No, that's okay. That's okay. At the apartments where you're staying and all that, it's Kawa. But have you been to the DT of Nairobi?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. When you compare our DT and theirs, that place is so loud. And the funny thing is sometimes the things they're saying, like there's so many brokers. There's brokers, like everyone wants to take you somewhere. Like you just be passing and like, I think it's the same our side, but like the challenge is sometimes you don't understand the language very well. So like there's a lot going on in your mind.
But in high school.
But it's a lot. Also, when it comes to their transportation, have you seen the matatus and how they design them? Jesus Christ. There's stickers of celebrities and like sometimes scary things, and like there's a lot that's going on this matatu. And then inside the matatu, there's like a disco. There's like disco lights. They're playing music, which I find different from this side. I mean, for just I don't think so. It's so rowdy. I had the experience, but no, I don't think so. Imagine you're leaving work in the evening, you're tired, you're having a headache, you just want to go home and rest, and boom, you get into a matatu that is playing disco.
And have you been shoplifted on the streets?
No,
in Nairobi?
I actually haven't. But
I feel like it's safer in Nairobi than in Kampala.
No, it's the same thing. It's probably the same thing. You just have to take care of your property.
And you experience
most especially in a country where it's not your country. So you have to be, you're like a stranger, foreigner. You have to be careful with your stuff.
Have you had challenges with the border migration?
Yes, so many of those. Mostly when it comes to the yellow fever card. Because there's a time they said my yellow fever card is fake. I mean, it wasn't fake, but
it was fake.
No, it wasn't fake. But I didn't know where the stamp was, but the stamp was actually there. So it's those stamps that are not colored. It was just like something there. So the other guy saw it and this one didn't. So it was more of a, when he saw it, he's like, okay, you can go. But I stayed there for a while and they were trying to figure out whether it's true or not. Haven't you had issues at the border?
Yeah, I've been stressed by.
I feel like everyone has.
I've been stressed by what? What's that? Mash?
Mash?
No, not mash.
There's
Modern Coast.
Modern
I've been
Coast.
stressed by Modern Coast a lot. So yeah, I saw never to use the bus again. Anyway.
You've used Modern Coast. Isn't Modern Coast like in Uganda? Did they travel out?
Yeah, it's actually a Kenyan brand.
It is, eh?
Kenyan brand. It's a Kenyan brand.
So which one do you prefer among the buses?
For now,
MASH.
Kampala coach.
For
And
real?
MASH, yes.
I love MASH. I feel like I had a good experience with it.
So what happened to me with Modern Coast is I reached the border this other time,
Mm.
and then so the bus goes like you go and check in and blah blah blah. So to then go back to get the bus,
Mm.
they had put in other people. And then I had to be squeezed into like a seat.
Oh my
Worst
god.
experience. I actually have a whole blog on this. It was such a bad. Then the bus kept dying on the road. Like it died. I think we reached Naivasha. It died. We spent. So that journey was about. I think I reached Nairobi. I left Kampala at 8 p.m. I reached Nairobi at around 9 p.m. the next day.
Shit.
So it was
That's like
crazy.
this is like 2 days.
Yes, that was 2 days on the road.
I think the worst experience I've had with the bus is there's one I took from Nairobi, Dreamline. I used Dreamline coming back. Wait, once I was with you guys that time. Well,
Wait.
the window fell out and like.
Oh shit!
I don't remember. You guys, I don't think you guys even.
We didn't even notice.
Are you serious?
No, but I knew that the window was half cracked.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
like
really.
fell out and then they had to get boxes and put. Oh my god, we stayed there for a while. So that was like I think my worst.
Oh wow.
So no, I don't use land again.
How do you feel about Kigali though?
Kigali is so quiet. I think it's boring.
Yet it's beautiful, right?
I mean, it's a beautiful country. Like it's perfect. You see the roads and you're like, wow, I wish this was Kampala, but like it's not.
So in terms of comparisons to Kampala, where is that comparison? What's not fun in Kigali that you get in Kampala from your perspective?
Okay, I think because I didn't know the fun places, but then again, even when we were at New Year's celebrations at that,
The BK?
yes,
Mm.
was it BK? Yes.
Yeah. Well, BK, I think that's when I saw you New Year's last
Yeah.
year.
The fact that I keep forgetting. Anyway, yeah. So I feel like the enjoyment is not as good as, I mean, they were playing music and all that, but people were just standing and like, I feel like they're so calm as a country. They're so calm, like quiet and all that. And they were drinking sodas. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're not like, because I know the Ugandans would probably
Even their party life.
their party
Music
life.
stops at 2 now.
See.
By midnight, it's reducing heavily to like
Yeah.
really 1 year.
So I feel like, I mean, it's a beautiful country, so peaceful. They don't have the drama that we have here in Kampala. But at the end of the day, there's not much fun.
Where do you think a tourist from America
Mm,
would best love? Kampala? And disregard the fact that you're Kampalan.
mhm.
But where do you think a tourist from America would love? Kampala, Kigali, or Nairobi?
Kampala.
Kampala. But you know that Kigali
Oh,
takes
but
me-
Kigali has, no, not Kigali. Okay,
Yeah,
Kigali takes, Nairobi has, there's those bars they told me about. I didn't go to, but, I've forgotten you know those bars where, what are they called? The pole dancing. Is it pole dancing?
Strippers.
Yeah.
Stripper clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those stripper clubs. And I've not really experienced it. But I
you
feel
have
like
to go
it's,
to a stripper club.
I would love to. Okay. But like, I feel like it's not something I've experienced in Uganda. And also it's not in any of the countries I've visited.
My friend Martin is going to take you to a stripper club somewhere in Uganda.
In Uganda? Where is any place?
There is.
Where?
Again, my friend Martin is going to take him. I will talk to him on the podcast. So you still prefer Kampala? You feel like the Kampala life. Where else have you been in Africa?
I've actually been to Kenya, Rwanda, and Zanzibar only.
Zanzibar. How was Zanzibar? Minus the heat, of course.
The heat. Let me first talk about it. The heat is too much. We washed our clothes in the night and hung them like outside. But like midnight, they were dry. That's how hot it is. In the middle of the night, you can imagine, like real dry. You have to have an AC where you're staying. The moment you open the door like this, the air that comes out is just so hot. It's terrible. But otherwise, I think it's a beautiful place. There's a lot of photo places. Like if you're like a picture person, you want to have fun. There's a lot of nice.
Have you been watching content? Do you have reels of more like, because you're like a lifestyle influencer?
Yes.
can I go to, say, your Instagram and then experience Kigali from your Instagram? Can I?
Yes, you can actually, yes.
Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
Because all the time I travel, I have like videos, I record some content because my life is content. There's nothing else I know. So I know I've been around people who are not content creators and they're like, what the fuck? Can't she just focus on having fun? But at the end of the day, I feel like to me, it makes more sense when I have the memories with me. So,
All right.
yes.
Okay. What questions do you want to ask me?
Are you single?
Yes.
I don't even know why that came out first. Why?
People ask that. I am still making a lot of money.
You're still looking for money, eh?
Making a lot.
Do you think, let me ask you something. Do you feel like broke people shouldn't be dating?
No, they should.
They should. Eh?
Yeah, I feel like love is bigger than just money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just social media that is really putting us in a fix of thinking that happiness
It's
can
all
just
about money. Eh?
no, the fact that people feel like happiness is like an eternal thing, yet it's just a fleeting feeling, right? So basically, the biggest part about life is suffering, and once you master that, you have mastered life. To me,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter if you're rich or not. It's how best you can come through from the things you suffer from, and acknowledging that there's like pain. Yeah.
I've had friends who feel like because they don't have money, they cannot like date or something like that.
Do you only date rich guys?
No.
What do you date for?
What do I?
Date for?
Where do I?
What do you date for?
What do I date for? Eh? I think I'm more of I just want to like settle down with someone. So I date to like settle down with someone. If they like can take care of me. I mean, it's a two-way street, but at the end of the day, the man is a provider. So, yeah.
When do you plan on getting married?
Probably after school. I still have 2 years in school.
But I thought you had graduated.
I did upgrading.
You're doing a master's?
No, it's still a bachelor's.
So after that?
After that, maybe I can try to think about settling down. But for now, I don't see myself. Maybe, but like I really don't think.
Okay. What are you asking?
When are you settling down?
When I make enough money.
I mean, what if you don't? Eh?
Then I won't settle down.
But here's the thing: life is short. Eh? You cannot think about making money for you to actually settle down. I mean, there's people. You're making more.
Settle down with me now that I'm still See, you're not a rich guy.
That's not the point. So,
but I get you.
You have to. There's a tweet Sotribax made. I think was it 2 days back? Eh? He was talking about it's more of us being grateful for what we have now because we didn't have it a few years back. I mean, we want more, but what if what we have is actually enough? And this is what it's going to be like. Not like forever.
I'm content with my life. Yeah.
Because I mean, you get a family, and then you can work towards being better for them. But like, there's people who earn less than what you actually earn, and they have families, they have kids. Their kids are going to school.
I agree. I am waiting for God to send me an angel.
Oh dear Jesus!
That's how to answer the question.
Okay.
What's the weirdest controversy you've been involved in online, and why?
Weirdest controversy. My Twitter. There's something what talked about me and my friend Christine.
Nampera.
No. CJ.
They
were saying me and her are. They said me and her are lesbians because we were like so close, I think, and they ended up. It became a big deal, and then like there were blogs about it. We had to call some guy to put the blog down because it was not coming off really well. But yes, that was a big challenge. Okay, it wasn't like a big challenge. No, it wasn't a big challenge, but like people kept talking about it on the timeline because I mean, you know how girls be, and then like you just always like there's things girls do and boys can't do because I feel like it's ill, like dressing up and then taking pictures or like sleeping in the same room. That's something girls do. but like boys can't. So we took some pictures. I think we had gone for, it was like Valentine's or something. We're in the same room and all that stuff, taking pictures and snapping and all that. And then she used to call me wifey. And so yeah, such things became like a lot. People kept talking about them so much. It didn't really affect me so much, but I feel like it was a controversy.
But what's your opinion on sexuality?
Like,
Do you have an issue with homosexuals? Do you have
Oh.
with heterosexuals?
to me, I feel like whoever is happy wherever they are, it's their business. Like, I'm straight and I would date, of course, I'm dating, yes, oh God. I date men, let's put it like that. But I feel like in this generation we're in, you are not going to tell people what to do with their lives. If someone feels like they want to date a fellow guy or a fellow girl, like, there's nothing you're going to do about it. There is no law that is going to stop it from happening. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, I have very controversial opinions about it. I'd rather keep them.
Say them.
But I'm going to say I'm a very straight man. Yeah.
Okay.
What legacy are you trying to leave behind? This is like, if you don't have more questions, this is like the closing question.
What legacy? I just want to be remembered as a nice person.
Do you think you're a nice person? And how would you define that?
I don't know. I have people who say I'm not a nice person. Okay.
How would you define a nice person? Who's a nice person from your perspective?
There's not like a description of a nice person. It's about how you feel. If you feel like you're good, that's it. But if there's people who say not, then it's on them. Like, I feel like basically people should believe whatever they want. Like, if you think Methia is not a nice person, that's on you. Like, take that, okay? If me, I think I'm a good person, then that's me. I am loving myself like that. So believe what you want. You cannot tell people what to believe.
What sort of mantras do you live by? What sort of values define who Methia is?
I don't know how to respond to that.
So you don't have like values, you don't have like things that motivate you to become who you are, you don't have like a principle codes you live by. Say for me, right?
That's first tell me your side.
I want to be a better human being every other day, and I am very hopeful that tomorrow can be a better day than today. So that is what gives me the strength to work through today, because I know there is the hope of tomorrow being better than it is today. So that's how I live by my life. There's a better tomorrow than it is today, and I live in the present moment. So yes.
Nah. I don't think I have anything. Maybe I'm the kind of person who just goes day by day. Like, we live each day by day. It's called exactly. So
all right, thank you.